I've stated this before. I
Hello and welcome to Blizzcon
love the
Online.
voices
My name is
panels.
Andrea Toyas.
You've already seen the
I'm the
World of
senior
Warcraft one.
casting
If
voice
interested in
director at
checking it out,
Blizzard.
go ahead and
It's
do
my
so.
great honor and
This is
privilege
Overwatch,
to be
and these
charged
guys take
today
it to a
with
whole
finding all the great
new
voices for your favorite
level.
games and bringing them to life in this
I
great world.
absolutely
And
love the
today,
voices
I'm
panels.
losing my
They're
mind with
actually probably
joy
my favorite
because
panels
I am
in World of
shocked
Warcraft. I don't know why.
to
I
reveal
just like
another
seeing the
voice
people
actor
behind the
panel,
scenes and all that
Voices
type
of
of stuff.
Overwatch, featuring our
Speak
beloved
less.
characters from
Let's
our
get some
most
snacks
beloved
on,
game.
and
I
let's
know it's
watch.
crazy times. I know it's uncertain and scary and hard, but just know that we at Blizzard and all of our actors and people that we work with think of you and love you every day. And I know that you know that I mean that. So here we are now with Voices of Overwatch. And on top of that, I want to tell you something else because I feel like I have to talk about this. Look what they've, can you see? I hope the camera gets what they've done. The books, the plants, the table, those are the exact chairs I wanted, the exact rug. There's ancient scrolls. There's
What's up, Tarantula? Thank you very much for dropping by. I already finished World of Warcraft, but I'm ending the stream off with a panel from Blizzcon.
Gratitude and love to the BlizzCon events team because they did this. They gave us this space and they're giving us this time because they know that without you, those of you who care about the voice actor panels, none of us would be here. So I love you. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a great panel. We've got a great show ahead. And welcome to the Voices of Overwatch voice actor panel for BlizzCon line. I mean, I wish you were all here right now because I can literally, I've got chills. To look around the room and see these people here, it just seems like a dream. This is not going to feel real till we go home tonight. It's not going to feel real. And you guys, usually I like to do my big surprise, who's behind door number 1, but unless they walk through the library, that wasn't going to work. So here's the grand reveal of all of our wonderful participants. So I think you know everybody on this stage, but let me go through introductions just to kind of get us all on the same page. So of course,
My boy Reinhardt's
we could
always
not
got to be
have
there.
an Overwatch panel without the mayor of BlizzCon himself.
Yep, called it.
Lord Darren DePaul, also known as Reinhardt. There we go. You at home, you
He's
guys-
really good.
I don't have it. I would hit a cameraman if I threw candy. It's not happening.
I know.
Hi, I'm Darren.
Yay! That's right. I forgot
Love
to
this
say
guy.
you guys have to clap for us because usually you're right in front of me with your big smiling faces, but you're not here. So you got to promise me that you're clapping at home, please. And then, of course, we have to have our beloved dad. We have to have Soldier 76, also known as Fred Tatasciore. Yay!
Reporting for duty.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Oh my.
And really glad that you let me use my apartment. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And then, of course, our beloved power female, totally kick-ass and wonderful in the game, our delicious diva, also known as Charlotte Chung. Yay! Oh,
Let's go.
And then, if I
My
had
favorite
way,
character
I have
in
the
the
whole cast
game.
on the stage. It's
I didn't know
every
she
year
was
I want you
there.
to know, having to work with the Overwatch team and shoes is so difficult. But we just had to get the ones we love them all, but this is who we ended up with, and we've got our fabulous. I don't really think you guys have heard of Matt Mercer before. He's new to the nerd world, so I want to introduce you to Matt Mercer for the first time, also known as Mccree.
Always gotta have the McCrystal.
In, Soldier Dad's apartment.
Love it.
Anytime, son.
And then we also really wanted to bring somebody new
Symmetra?
in to share our love with you and to share our love of her.
It looks like
So
Symmetra.
I'm so excited, so honored and privileged to introduce you to Jeannie Bollet, who plays Echo. So
Oh! Never mind, I'm so wrong.
yes. Hello, everyone. Yes. And I know you can't see our fans, but everybody, this is BlizzCon. These are our fans. Let's just pretend they're out there and say, we love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. Yes. And then, as you know, I always love to have somebody from the team, so I'm really honored and delighted to bring somebody to you from the Overwatch team, the creative director, Jeff Chamberlain. So this is Jeff Chamberlain. Jeff, everybody. Yes. And Jeff, you and I never talked about this, but I'm so excited. I never tell you this. I need to tell you I love you more, Jeff. But because Jeff and I have worked together for so long, I remember you and I in early StarCraft 2 sessions together. I mean, we go way back. We're OGs together. So it's always really cool to work with Jeff and have him join us. So thanks, Jeff.
It's my pleasure. It's always fun to, get into the recording booth with you and figure these characters out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Jeff would love to be here, but like all of us, he's got to stay extra safe for his family. Otherwise, he'd be sitting on my lap right now, right, Jeff? I think we'd be cuddling probably, or I'd be, one of those. So there's so much I want to talk about. I wish we had all day. We don't. So I just want to, my goal, as I said earlier in the monologue, is to have you in my living room. So the first thing I want to talk about is how's everybody doing? It's been a tough year. It's been crazy. And I just want to ask everybody, we can go in rotation or talk together. I had a tough year. I'm doing great now. Anytime I get to be with you, I'm great. How's everybody? How you doing? Tell me about how you've been since we last saw you.
I'm fine.
I feel like you're always fine. I can't.
Well, you got to
get
stay
sad?
joyful. I mean,
know.
this has been a time of distance, and yet we still find our connections where we can, whether it's online or just passing someone on the street and waving from a distance. It's sharing our hearts, and that's what I love about what we've created here. And every year we come back to it and add more people that we adore and say, welcome, it's nothing but joy. Welcome to our little world of yes.
I love that. So Darren, how have you been getting by? Like, do you get, I'm sure you get sad, but how do you just joy and gratitude and?
Yeah, we moved to a new house.
Congratulations.
It's like our first adult house ever. But we have an office and we record, and very, very lucky, knock on everything, work keeps going. And that keeps you going. A lot of our friends in the Broadway community have not been working. We lost someone from a show a long time ago yesterday. So we've been losing a lot of our people. And I think you go back to what brings you comfort, and it's spending Zoom calls with those people. It's listening to Leon Redbone and David Byrne and Buster Poindexter, and going back to what I did in college when I had no friends, but it's that reaching for things. Did I play Diablo 3 a lot in the beginning? Yeah.
Yes.
Because that world was the world I liked to run around in and visit little shopkeepers that would go, I will survive if you buy something. And I never buy anything. So there's a little guilt there.
I love it.
But you know me, I'm just a big mouth stupid.
I love it. And I got to give a shout out. Look at Darren. Even in a pandemic, he's dressed just impeccably. Always. And we found out they make
It's Photoshop.
It's Photoshop. I actually in his pajamas. We found out there's onesies that are suit onesies, you said?
Yeah, pajamas. You can
We need to get a
one super-
Kickstarter and buy him a whole wardrobe of suit
We got you
onesies.
covered.
Yes.
Yay.
You'll look amazing. It's going to be a Blizzcon Overwatch sleepover next time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You always have a bow tie on. Why did you pick the tie?
I changed it up.
Oh.
I had some bow ties earlier, and then I did ties and liked them. My sister has a store, and I call her. She has a high-end men's store, and I'll call her and I'll say, hey, I want this, and I order it, and that's my way of helping her out because business has been rough, and I'm like, give me this.
Is this in New York? Or?
No, she moved to San Antonio, Texas, and she's been in Texas for a long time. My parents had moved. Those are sad stories that we do not want to get into about stuff. But it's still having that connection. Just my father was a clothing designer.
That's right.
And the Reinhardt voice is kind of him. And
That's right.
So he would like it. He'd go, you look good.
You, you look amazing.
Yes,
You
but bow
always.
ties are good on you as well.
It's so hard not to just bite your face and hug you. I just want to bite you so bad. All of
Many
you.
people say that.
Yeah.
This lady is so sus this weekend. Holy.
Hang it in.
Yeah. We're very, very lucky to be able to keep doing this.
Yes.
I've got a toddler. I've been quarantined with a toddler.
Zemo.
He's my little guy, and my wife and I have been having actually a really good time. I mean, it's a handful, but it's been so great to just be able to get out of the recording booth and then just play with him, as opposed to 2 hours of traffic. Not complaining about traffic, just saying it's really a blessing. I mean, I hate what's happening to the world, with the virus and the economic thing and just everything that's happened. But it's been a real blessing to be at home, actually, because I've lived out of my car for so long. And so this has been really nice. I like being at home, growing food, and just it's been a real blessing. And like you, getting into all the stuff that was a passion for me early on. Any kind of music or films or art.
What was your favorite? What are you listening?
Well, I love the David Byrne stuff that you're talking about. But but there's
American Utopia.
Yeah, all of that.
So good.
But there's just so many things. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
I miss
Trying to
seeing
get
you at
back-
the gym.
I know. I miss it. We both lived downtown, and we would catch each other at the Y. It was very, very cool.
Wow. Soldier 76 and Reinhardt working
we're
out.
actually working out at the Y.
Because I want to go there whenever this
Just
We
need to
did.
hit that
I used to live around the corner from
Wow.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
So there's always this little world of
And I would see him walking down the street to the gym
Wow.
with his gym bag.
3 Overwatch characters
Yeah,
all
in
living
this
close.
one little area. I know, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Tell me what the interaction was like between Soldier 76 and Reinhardt at the gym.
Hey, how are you?
I'm going to pump you up. That was a line another German said.
I'll let you to it. I'm going to hit the pool. All right.
Don't hit it too hard. This was a joke.
No, I get it. Very
I
good.
hope that exact scene happened.
What's up, Shabam? This is one of the panels from Blizzcon.
Oh my god.
And this is Overwatch voice panel. So it's all the voice actors just chatting about for about an hour.
Yeah, true.
I've seen, I've already uploaded all the other panels that we've watched. We've watched the World of Warcraft, all the World of Warcraft stuff from day one. Now we're moving on to Overwatch. I've already played World of Warcraft today, by the way. So now at the end of the live stream, I like to just watch 1 or 2 panels depending on how long they are. But this one's a very long one, so I'm just going to watch this one.
Astounding. It really is. It's one of the best things and most challenging too.
Yes.
But it's a happy challenge.
Yes, and I think it reminds us that nothing else matters, I would imagine, with your child. And talking about forming humans, Charlotte's formed some humans. Tell us,
Need a
Charlotte.
baby diva.
Yes. Yes. Tell us.
So
Yeah,
I remember when she was
it's been a
preggo.
wild ride, and going through all of that through the
Yeah.
pandemic has been an interesting kind of situation, but a really blessed one because, like Fred said, we have been able to spend a lot of time with our kids. But this is sort of a full circle moment for me because 5 years ago, at the very first Overwatch panel for Blizzcon, I was here with these lovely gentlemen, and it was, you know, you're telling us to be real.
Absolutely,
so
Mama.
I'm sharing something that I kind of shared on social media, but I had lost a baby 2 weeks before BlizzCon. I had a miscarriage. It was my first pregnancy, and then you look back and you go, you know, at the time things don't make sense, but it does in hindsight. And when I look back and knowing that then I had gotten, you know, sort of rushed into this world of Overwatch and the fans and BlizzCon, and how much it changed my life since then, it all sort of makes sense, the timing of life and whatnot. But I came in with a lot of sadness actually at that BlizzCon, but then having met you all, that really just changed my life and in so many ways. I got sat next to Fred, Papa 76.
I love it.
And he was actually my favorite, he voices my favorite character in Call of Duty, and so I was starstruck.
Oh.
And
Thank you.
yes, and Fred
at
and
you.
Matt were going back and forth. Like, you guys probably don't remember this, but I was in back of you watching it in line, and you guys were doing voices and stuff, and I was shaking like a leaf because it was such a, it's a
Intense.
nerve-wracking, intense moment. There were 2,000 people in the room that day. Since then, I think I was on a panel with Matt in Atlanta with like 5,000 people. And then, of course, you went to the UK and did one for like 100,000 people. So you're on a different, you know, level.
You
but
showed none of those nerves. I can tell you that.
You did
But-
so great.
but
You did, yeah.
I learned so much, especially sitting next to Fred and seeing just his love for our fans and whatnot. And so, yeah,
Thank
just
you.
then, you know, from coming from the loss, and then 5 years later, I made a baby last year. His name is Guy, and I made a baby this year. Her name is Gal.
Guy and gal?
Guy and Gal.
Wow.
So good.
Boy and girl.
That's
we kept
amazing.
it simple, but yeah, it's definitely just a really heartwarming moment, and I'm so glad to be back with all of you, and welcome to Jeannie as well. And yeah, it's been it's so wonderful to be back.
We made it through. We made it through. I'm so happy to
Yes.
see, which I want to talk about how you guys were on the original panel. So I want to get into how your lives have changed, and that's such a beautiful story. Before we go there, Jeannie and Matt and Jeff, I mean, how you guys been doing this last year? You've been holding steady, good days, bad days, everything in between days?
Everything and more, and sometimes less.
Yeah.
Obviously, I came into the Overwatch world just as the pandemic hit. I remember
We had a session like right before.
we had a session, and there was a TV in the kitchen at LA Studios, and we could see these cruise liners being docked, you know, and people being, and we're watching it just going, what's going on? This is absolutely crazy. Not knowing that the whole city, the whole country was going to shut down. And so it kind of felt not anticlimactic. It just, I didn't know what to expect. So it almost gave me this extra space, you know, to sit into what this world could potentially be and to brace myself for that communication and that connection with the fans, which has really been quite lovely. I wasn't sure because I'm quite a private person and I'm quite shy in my own world. I'm definitely a bit of a hermit. I write a lot. That's my other thing. I do a lot of creative writing. So I wasn't sure what was going to come knocking at my door or slide into my DMs. And it has been
I love watching this shit. I don't know why.
As you were saying before.
Just fun to see these
and just
people, these voice actors'
open,
perspective on
how
just
loving,
anything.
How sharing the whole community has been. It's like, wow, we're all just human beings trying to get through it and find some joy, find some connection. So
it's basically a fun, to me, a fun to watch podcast. That's what this is. That happens once a year.
Spending time on my own. There are days when I'm like, God, I miss everybody. I really just want to, I want to communicate. I want to connect. I want to take those deep dives. And sure enough, there'll be a message. And it's someone who I don't know just saying, hey, this is what's happening with me today. Or you'll never guess what. This happened, or I'm feeling like this. And at first, I'm not a professional psychiatrist or therapist or any of those things, but so having someone share information during a time when we all really need to share, I was quite scared of giving out information that was like, oh God, what is this going to do then? But realizing it's okay to share a little bit of yourself, like we're doing right here now, right? Yeah, now more than ever, we're going through it. And we're going to get through it. But there will be days like there are when it's a bit heavy. And then there are days when, I pull my dogs in and I give them a cuddle and I crack open the karaoke mic and I put on YouTube.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden I'm like, babe, I'm going to sing badly, okay? And he's like, all right. And I hear his door
Sounds
close.
like we're going to do that soon.
I think we need to do that.
I think we need to do that at the end.
I hear his door close over here as well. And then I just bust out some tunes and, music, it really heals. Video games, I am not a gamer, and I think I've said this a lot in social media, but my husband plays a lot of different games, and at Overwatch, I've watched him play, and just storytelling in whatever format. Films, I'm a big film buff. I absolutely love that long, medium format. Animation, my husband's an animator, creative director. So any kind of storytelling to connect us to being human and humanity, that's getting me through right now.
I think you're right. That word connection, I think, is more important than ever. Like I was saying earlier to these guys, and I said on the WoW panel, I'll never take a hug. And any kind of connection, any text, message, anything is so important now. I think it's been hard days, but it slowed us down to remind us what's important. So Matt, how are you doing? I mean, I know you don't really have much to do. You're probably sitting around all the time doing nothing.
Yeah.
Not much in your world that's exciting.
No, I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in. I feel very lucky that I can still be so busy in this time, but to me it also means it's an opportunity to try and get other people busy as well. It's since connection, a huge part of connection is community, and we all have to rely on each other, especially in times of crisis like this. So it's helping out with mutual aid funds, GoFundMe's that you see in social media. With me and my friends that have our company Critical Role, we finally launched our Critical Role Foundation charity, and are just trying to do what we can to get other people hired and find work and business for other people. And so it's just, it really brings a lot of things into perspective about when you have the opportunity, when you have the platform to use it to lift others up with you, because who knows when you'll need their help to pick you up as well. And that's kind of been a really big, even further clarifying theme in these moments. So that's been very fulfilling, as much as it's been also very tiring. But whereas we don't have any children, we did get a dog.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What kind?
He's a corgi.
Oh, gorgeous.
Pembroke Welsh corgi.
That's Blizzard approved.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. I don't think we didn't immediately bring up our molten corgis and WoW and pretend. But we wanted to get a dog for a long time, and we're just out of the house so often that if we're going to get a dog, we need to spend those first few months that are so important to bond and help raise them properly. And we only really got that with this pandemic. And we were like, well, if this is the time that we're going to be at home to do this, let's do it. So his name's Omar, and he's been a huge anchor in our life through a lot of our anxieties and all the challenges. But moments like this, being able to be in this panel with you wonderful people, to invite you into our crazy, ridiculous family, is very, very much cherishing these moments and appreciative for when they do come. So.
Yes. And for me, my animals, I've got 3 black cats and a dog, and it's like those are my frontline workers, are my animals, because they anchor me. So Jeff, how are you? I mean, Jeff, Blizzard, I feel like all of my friends at Blizzard are working so hard, and Jeff is impossible because your schedule is so full. I think you're working harder now. Jeff, how are you doing? I mean, work and life, how are you? I don't ask you that enough.
Good. I mean, obviously, it's a balance between being aware and respectful of everything that's going on in the world, but then also finding the silver lining. So on the Overwatch team, we're all on Zoom all day long and meeting up and just cranking through the game and making it as good as we can. The one thing that I actually have enjoyed during all of this is I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and in between meetings I can go in and get a hug or a high five from them. That's awesome. I feel closer to them now than I ever have. Not that I love them more or anything like that, but just that I get to spend more time with them than I did when I was in the office all day. So that's really nice. And also it's the same thing with my wife. And then the other thing I think that's really nice, and some people also mentioned this, is that now everybody's on, some sort of format of communication through their computers. I actually spend more time with my siblings who are all over the country. And just the other day, my son, who's 6, played a board game with my brother, who's much older than 6. So it was just fun to watch. It's fun. And, I reconnected with 2 of my childhood friends who I really don't get an opportunity to talk to that much anymore. But, we get online and talk to each other much more than we ever have before. So I just see it as like a really horrible thing that's going on, but it's forced us to find another way to, enjoy each other. And in some ways, it's actually opened up new avenues to reconnect with people that, we may have lost that opportunity in the past.
Amen to all of that. So I mean, it's just amazing. And so I'm going to ask you quickly, Jeff, and I'm going to talk about what we've been through. Since we're on you, Jeff, I mean, we're all trying to get Overwatch 2 done. I mean, how is it, we were talking on the WoW panel that when we're at Blizzard, we could all jam together, be in the room together, have ideas, get a coffee, do our thing. We can't do that now. So what's it been like to try to bring Overwatch 2 to life when you're remote and you don't have those same connective tissues that we had when we were on campus? How's that going? And tell us every single secret about Overwatch 2 while you're doing it. So let's do both of those. So
that could take the whole panel.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you pick up on that. I think when we first started doing this, it was a lot more challenging for us because, we often would get into it, what we would call a writer's room or a jam session or something like that. And there's just a creative energy in the room. And it's like, okay to interrupt people with an idea because, I really love your idea and I think we should do this, that sort of thing. And as soon as you get online, that's not quite as possible because, an interruption online, the audio doesn't really, it isn't quite as natural, if you know what I mean. But I think we struggled with it initially, but then ultimately, I think we all got used to the format and we found ways to continue to have those sort of jam sessions. And I'm in them almost all day, every day, and we're just constantly trying to figure out new things and refine things and figure out new story beats and all that stuff. So I think we've adapted. I guess that's the best way to.
So how's Overwatch 2 looking? Best thing ever? No secrets. Damn it. Come on, just one secret, Jeff. One secret. Nothing. Doesn't love us. That's fine. Well, I'm so happy, and it's really great. The creativity still goes on. It was hard for me at first, but you know what? It's something to focus on during hard times. But what I want to talk about, the main gist of this panel was, so the reason, obviously Jeannie's new, which is why she's here, but I looked at the panel from 2016 and was like, let's bring the original players back, because I don't think at 2016 any of us really logged in what was going to happen with Overwatch and how our lives were going to change. I mean, I'll never forget one quote I always talk about. Fred, I'm going to quote you. Fred said, Fred does lots of cons, and his wife turned to him and with a Soldier 76 success, said to him, when did you turn into one of the Beatles? Like, so I want to open table this, and then Jeannie will come to, because I want to talk all about what it's like to come into this family.
It's a strange thing.
you are all like ridiculously loved and famous and cherished and beloved. What's it been like? Tell me, since that panel in 2016, now you're rock stars. We have to, for those of you who've not been to BlizzCon, when Darren was in the Hilton bar one night, we had to form a human shield. We had to form a human shield because we were getting mauled.
We had to tank for the tank.
Yeah, a tank for tank. So,
Wear my shield.
yeah. So for anybody, so did you, questions, what was it like? Did you think, well, tell me what it's been like.
You did.
Kind of. Because I told you, that was my first ever cast panel, ever. And just being there at BlizzCon, and I'd gone the year before just to attend when it was announced. I'm like, this is amazing. And to be announced. And we were all waiting and meeting everybody and being so excited. And I was the second. And Cara Theobald was first. And I had my candy. And I was standing there and I was really nervous and I was kind of tearing up and I was seeing everybody cheer. And I went, the minute you step out there, everything changes. Because I'm like, this is a big thing. We love this so much. We were hoping that they did. But it did. It's this incredible journey that we've gone through. And every year that we return to these characters and kind of don these vocal clothes, again, I keep saying it's joy, and I'm overwhelmed by that. But it became this force for good, and I don't think that's what we expected.
That's right.
That it was this positivity and that we could always be joyful whenever we met, you know, people or doing a Make-A-Wish. I've done 4 Make-A-Wishes. I think we all have done them, and that these characters mean so much to children. And it all started there from, you know, the time when I was like, I'm gonna throw candy. My wife said, that's a bad idea.
I love
like
that.
Your
And now?
house for
And now you
Halloween.
can't.
Let's just bring candy. It'll be a thing. And it's just always been joyful. So yeah, I guess in a way I kind of went, everything did change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that day.
I don't think anybody's expected it to be a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, we a lot of us have worked in games to an extent, and they can vary on how well they're accepted or people engage with it. But this had such a global impact. And here we are 5 years later, and it still has such an impact, and we're gearing up for the sequel. And along with that joy, it's also a unique responsibility to the point that where the community is looking to us in hard times to be a beacon of light. We're a reminder of joy and a reminder of strength and heroism in a time where that seems to not always be present in a lot of other forms of the media and the world around us. And yeah, it's a video game, it's a work of fiction, but what work of fictions have always done is remind us what we want to achieve, how we want to make things better. It's that inspiration that keeps us thinking about how we can better ourselves in our situation in the world around us. And it's I don't know, I'm very thankful to be a part of this with these wonderful people, and the fact that we can still, all this time later, be inviting amazing new people into this group, this family, to bring their own joy and light to it, and just be so excited for each other and for everyone else in this community to engage with it. It's joyful.
Yeah.
Once again, you hit it
Yeah,
on the
you
nail.
hit it on
I just need you to say that Overwatch is a million times more important than Critical Role. Can you just say that? I'm just wondering if we can get that
I
on
am
tape.
legally unable to speak about
But I know you think it. I know
very
you
different
feel it.
engines. Very
We can
different
call it
beasts.
Joyful
Very
Watch.
Joyful.
Joyful Watch. Joyful Watch. That's the DLC.
I mean, you and I know what you love the most, so we'll just leave it there. It's fine.
I can tell you, Overwatch, much more polished.
Okay. Yeah.
We're
yeah.
we're a bunch of slapdicks
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
messing around on the
Well,
internet. So.
it's still amazing. But I think you hit a good point. Like we always say at Overwatch, it's our vision for a better future, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's really great.
It's what we could be.
What we could be.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's a force for good, and that how inclusive it is, and how everyone has their own character traits and their abilities and their strengths, and what might be regarded as a weakness is actually a strength. It's pretty astounding, and the fact that it's hit worldwide is crazy. That I could go to the UK or go anywhere and you know, Dubai or whatever, and somebody is saying, yes, I really connected to this character
Yeah.
for these reasons.
Yeah.
And it started, again, as a character that was near and dear to my heart, but I had no idea it would take on this, like you say, a phenomenon. I kind of got a sense when we announced it at BlizzCon that it was such a big deal that time. I was like, oh, this is this is really anticipated. You know, I was a little out of the loop on that,
Right.
but it's just, it has changed my world considerably.
Yes.
Because of just being able to go to conventions and go to these places. The response has just been overwhelming, crossing barriers of cultures and languages. And and being able to joke, the things they have me write, it's terrible. I can't repeat some of them right now. And you're right, the Make-A-Wish is the best part of the gig. All the things that you can, have people focus on and be open about it. It's a really incredible ride. Really.
Well, you are kind of like everybody's dad now. That's a big responsibility.
Now, that was a funny thing too, because that started as a joke. I took it as a character who just cares about his soldiers and cares about everybody, and I took that on as like a coach or a dad. That's how I was playing it in my head. That made sense to me, and that's near and dear to how I feel about everybody in reality. But when they started coming in with all these memes and all these like art, the chef, the dad art, that was fan, even though it was planned that was so much fan influence. I've never worked on a project where the fans had such a say in what went on. You know what I mean? As opposed to, we've worked on other projects where it was like, this is a very private, thing that no one's gonna know about, and we're gonna surprise them with this. This all of a sudden, it's like, you can make a lot of dad art and jokes, and it's gonna show up. Some of these lines are gonna show up. That's the other thing, the films. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's next. We just opened up. I don't think any of us knew, and I'll come to Jeff in a second. None of us knew what was going to come, but I'll circle back with Jeff about from the developer perspective. But Charlotte, I mean, as you kind of covered it a little bit earlier, but again, none of us knew. We were like,
and I'm going to echo what everyone else has been saying, but the global impact that the game has had is something that I completely didn't expect at all. But I think for me personally, what I have gained is a tremendous respect for our cast, and in terms of, there is not a single person that I can say is using their platform in a way that is negative or anything like that. I'm really proud to know every cast member. We have like upwards of 30 some.
I don't know, how many characters do we have now, Jeff? A lot.
A lot.
87.
87. 87, that's right.
And, whether it's encouraging, the fans through this global pandemic, or for me, I've personally used my platform as a voice for to talk about racial injustice, which is something that with George Floyd and everything came up this year, and I've gotten a lot of people just really reaching out and saying thank you for talking about things or using your platform for to voice the thoughts and the heart of those who are voiceless at times. And so it was something that I was not very much prepared for, but nothing prepares you for this kind of responsibility, as you said. And my son Guy actually, so speaking of all the traveling and everything, I think one of my favorite places that I got to visit because of Overwatch is Kuwait. Kuwait was an amazing experience, and just being able to travel to so many states and so many countries. And my son was traveling with us from 2 months, so he's a con baby.
Yeah.
And now I've got a baby girl who is 2 months now, and can't take her anywhere right now. But hopefully one day she can start traveling with us again when everything, when the world is well. But yeah, I very much proud of being a part of our Overwatch community. And you were talking about the cultural impact as well. The diversity is, something that we always talk about, but it's now with the pandemic and how everybody's it's been a humbling experience, right? We've all I feel like it's just really pared us down as human beings to what's really important.
Absolutely.
And though we are diverse as a cast, I've also seen that the reality is we're more alike than just the diversity that that is obviously beautiful, but we're all human and connected. And so even just I think genre of video games, at one point it was thought to be something that was a waste of time, or a little of a niche thing, or something that was a problem for the young generation. But look at us now, what our game is doing. It's bringing everybody together and giving people hope in a time and a moment of connection in a time that we really need it. So yeah, I feel like it. And speaking of which, the Beatles, there was a Rolling Stones article about Overwatch, and they called us the Beatles of video games.
That's right. That's
Ooh.
right. Yes.
So
I got you in my sights.
Oh, that's what we're gonna have to do.
Oh, really?
John Lennon was an
Let him back
Overwatch.
that up. No.
Not a man anymore.
I love it.
That's the born Liverpooler.
Now wait, you're like,
Hold on,
I
hold
know.
on. I am actually from Liverpool.
We have a Beatle.
A real
Liverpool
Liverpool
strong.
So beautifully said, Charlotte. So all this.
My favorite soccer team's Liverpool. Let's go. We're sucking balls right now, though.
I love for Overwatch. I'm like, okay, you have no idea what's about to happen.
Right.
Let me try to prep you best I can. And I think a lot of actors are like, oh, sure. And then the tsunami hits. So walking into what we're talking about, so recently that the freshest new member, what's it been like from what I warned you to now? Do you see that I was telling the truth?
You were.
Yes.
You were absolutely sharing the truth. And the one thing that you said, which is so lovely, and it prepared me in such a warm, fuzzy kind of way, was that you said, most IPs, most games out there, they're great. Yeah, you're excited to book a job, and I'm always excited. But you were like, this game is special, and you've really hit something that it's just special. So prepare yourself. And I was like, okay. So obviously, when we were recording Echo's lines and watching the cinematic that came out, everything was just like, oh God, it's pulling on my heartstrings. Oh, she's great. I can really see these things that I have in common with her, or I'd like to be more like her as well. I just got really excited and connected with the character. And then Echo dropped. And then I get this influx of followers, like, that you said, prepare that, clean up your Twitter, clean up your Instagram. And I was like, oh. So yeah, it was a pleasant shock, and one that I'm so grateful for. I feel like I've made so many virtual friends who check in on me daily, and these are people who play the game. They've been playing, for 4 years. They probably met their partner or significant other. They're sharing pictures of their kids with me, and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. In a time when our physical connection with everybody else has been, cut off. So it's been wild. It's been great. The days that I'm not particularly connecting on social media, they're just my days for everyday writing or my other creative pursuits. And then when I hop back on to Instagram's my thing, I feel sort of warm and fuzzy because I see that someone has reached out, and it's really nice for somebody to ask how you're doing, who you don't know. And that's the vibe that I get from all of the community and also all of the actors, because that's a family that I haven't met physically, and every single one has reached out, said hi, sent an emoji, or we've done some panels together virtually, and man, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky.
It's just, I can't tell you, probably you've all had this experience. I can't tell you how many times getting on Twitter, the love of fans has saved me. I've had really hard days, or the loss of my life or something, and there's been cards that have showed up on just the right day when my heart was breaking. There's been so many miracles from this beautiful family at home that we love so much. So I want to circle back to Jeff. Jeff, from the developer side, I remember in 2014 when we announced it, I was with Metzen backstage. We were like, oh God, I hope they're gonna like our new little game. Like, I don't know, is anybody gonna like it? So Jeff, from the developer side, what does a team, how does it feel to look back at where we've come, how we started, we weren't sure, and now we've got the pressure of Overwatch 2. From your perspective, your personal involvement, it's exciting, scary, wonderful, in between. How do you feel about it? How's the journey been for you?
Probably all of the above. So, I can remember back to pre-2014 when, this is just an idea that was being pitched by Jeff Kaplan and Chris Metzen. And Jeff Kaplan came over to the cinematics department and pitched to us what Overwatch would be. And, you know, all the values that were in Overwatch really resonated with me. At the time in my career, I was no longer directing. I'd moved into more of a supervisor, creative director type role in cinematics. And I remember after that pitch, I went to my boss and I said, I think I need to get back to directing because I really want to be involved with this. And so I was able to direct the announce piece. And I just remember having discussions with Jeff and Chris about, you know, how do we maintain those values and how do we make sure that they're present in the cinematic that we're making and all that stuff. And so I'm really proud about all the work that we've done. I'm excited and also anxious to see how people react to the work that we're working on currently for Overwatch 2. I think we're obviously upholding all those values because they're core to Overwatch. One interesting thing that has happened actually is, you know, if we have this bright, shiny future, but we're injecting a story mode into the game, we had to figure out what that means because you can't have a great story. It'd be really hard to make a great story that's always bright and shiny, you know? And so we had this exercise where we had to try to figure out like, okay, exactly how dark can we take Overwatch? You know, obviously it's not, you know, like zombie apocalypse type territory or anything like that. But,
or is it?
So we went through this exercise of like, okay, where do we take it, and what does dark look like in Overwatch, and you know, so we figured that out. I think we found a really nice balance, and now we're just getting it done, basically. So
that's great. Jeff, I can't believe I forgot. Jeff was the cinematic director who did that opening movie with the boys at the museum, the little kids. It's been so long ago. So round of applause. And Jeff, when you were making that piece, I mean, I know that Jeff's an amazing cinematic director, but you probably didn't realize, okay, I'm doing this really cool movie. I don't know how big it's going to be. So now, I mean, that's like one of the seminal pieces for Blizzard Cinematics. At the time, I know you're doing your best work, but did you have any clue where this is going to lead?
I guess yes and no. Like like I said, that presentation that Kaplan and Chris gave, it was extremely inspiring and it felt really unique and something that was just really inviting to everyone. You know, some of the other values are diversity, as some other people have already said. And so I saw the potential there, and I really believed in what we were doing. So that's the yes part. The no part is just the volume. You know, you never know how well received it's going to be, and you always cross your fingers that it, you know, is well received. And so that part was exciting and you know, inspiring as well.
Yeah, I think you did so well. And I think, Jeannie, that's a piece I showed for you to introduce you to Overwatch as little boys in the museum. And I think we all agree, it still gets me because it makes me feel like a little kid again, right? We can all be heroes. And that line, that's kind of our tagline, but that feels real. Even and kind of bringing this back to real life, we all right now have to be heroes in our own little way, however we can, you know? And so it's exciting, and I feel so honored as the casting and voice director to be part of this diverse community. It hit me quickly. I want to get back to all of you, but we won some award a couple years ago when Overwatch first came out. I don't know what it was. And one of the heads of Overwatch said, it's great that we've been successful financially, yay for us. What's more important is that the world is resonating with what we're doing because we're trying to show the world that we live in the diversity. We're trying to make the world that we see and be inclusive. And that's when it really hit me, that acceptance speech of like, this is really, it's not just a game, as we're saying, we are trying to represent the world in all of us in all of our shapes and forms. And I know here, none of us take that lightly. And I feel like it's a great, Jeff, you probably feel the same from the developer side. It's a big responsibility to write the game, to cast the game, to direct it. I want to get it right so we see ourselves everywhere, you know?
To play off of what Charlotte said earlier, you know, for a long time, video games were seen as cursory, you know, things that got kids in trouble or this thing to waste time. But that for a long time, for as long as I've been an adult practically, it's been proven as art, as a form of highly respectable storytelling and an important form of storytelling. And while there are a lot of games out there, and I've worked on a few of them, that don't treat it with the same level of respect and responsibility, the reason we take so much pride in being part of projects like Overwatch is because everyone behind it sees that. They understand that we have an opportunity here on this global scale to inspire people and to do something really good and really important with what we're making. It is art. It will change people's minds. We have to do it right.
Agreed.
Speaking of representation, to kind of go continue on with that first question you asked about how has it impacted our lives? This is a bit of a vulnerable thing, but for me as an actor, I did an interview and I kind of shared about this, but I think I had just insecurities about who I was in the world of, for example, Hollywood, and where I would fit into a project, and would see myself as a support lead or you know, the best friend or something. But something that you have emphasized from the beginning, as well as obviously the rest of the devs, is that none of the cast members nor the characters have more importance than the other. Everybody is on the same level, and we're all a part of this together equally. And that really changed the way I thought about myself. And so as much as we have had, you know, people are like, oh, you've impacted our lives. And as much as we're aware of that and we're told that every day, what it's actually done something for me internally as well. And it completely changed the way I saw myself professionally and as well as personally in, you know, in being a person of color. And so diversity isn't just important for the people playing it, but it's also done something for me, and for the number of people that have come up to me and said, oh my gosh, like, you know, you're a woman, I'm small in stature, and you sound and look young, and you're a person of color and all of that, and yet you have such a strong hero character that you're playing in this game, and that means so much to me, and now I see myself in that light too. And that, I think, has been something that personally has impacted me, and in that way I think you know, it's not just been for everybody else, but for all of us as well.
But we're all like that.
Yeah.
I mean, as a group of actors, we're all just a bunch of misfits. And
Yeah.
we were looking for a place where we did
Our
fit.
tribe.
And for some reason, all of us, you know, the roles called to each of us. For some reason, these roles went, Diva was like, I've been waiting for you, you know, and 76, and Mccree, and Echo.
That was your fault.
Yeah. and it's that kind of thing. It's, you know, for me being on stage so long, but being a character guy or being an understudy, because they're like, you do a lot of stuff, so we don't get it. So you'll always be in the back. You'll be part of a cast, but not part of a cast. So now to have this, where we're all accepted, and we truly can look at each other's work and go, that is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, sitting, watching your animated short at the Blizzard campus, and just knowing that you know I was crying. I got to share that with you before anybody. Yeah, I do.
I know.
We're all
These things
I know.
that we have connection, where all these wonderful misfits, which is Overwatch in a lot of ways, the game, it's like they came together to do good.
Yeah.
Yes, and each character, like you said, is a standalone thing. Each movie is its own standalone film. When I first saw the Bastion movie, I was just like, this film exists as just a film. If you didn't know anything about Overwatch, or you didn't know anything, and each film kind of functions like that. And what's great about having a game is that you play your character, and then someone at a con will say, I main you. You know, like someone that's not any like you at all. He was my thing, man. That's my stuff. You know, and it like, you know, and it'd be like, you know, I mean, it's really, it's astounding. And again, the platforms that you get to, for me, for Soldier, I'm humbled, you know. It was the military. So many military people would come up and connect, and I'm saying, but you're doing this for real.
Yes.
You're thank you. Don't thank me. Yeah. This is something that now I feel like more responsible for that. And then, are you kidding? You know, now he's gay. Oh, great.
But not just for shock, for real. Like for real.
And I'm glad I didn't know that, because what's great is
we
it
didn't
didn't
play that.
matter.
Didn't matter.
And I mean, he'll never find, you know, to find love for him is a whole other, you know, story. But it was just, so now that is something that's available and open to people. And how great
I love it.
that platform can be.
It's great.
You know, to say, look, you know.
It's wonderful. I love that you said wonderful misfits. I think we should hashtag wonderful misfits. I'm thinking, you know, you guys at home know that I make t-shirts and pins for the fans.
Don't
now
make another button that I have to throw.
More buttons, more buttons. Coffee mugs. Coffee mugs. Wonderful misfits. I'm going to steal that. That's who we are.
600.
Yeah, 600. We found our tribe of wonderful misfits. That's why we're here. Well, I want to get to the fun stuff, guys. So, you know, I really, Blizzcon team, can you please give me 8 hours next year, wherever you're at? I think we need
Can I do one quick shout out?
Sorry?
Can I do one quick shout out?
Please.
We are, you know, this is the voice actor panel. We are the voices of these characters, but we are one part of the collaboration that makes this story happen. You know, we are one of the, you know, sometimes if we're lucky enough, early stages, sometimes later stages, but behind each of us and the directors you see out here at BlizzCon, you see there are hundreds of people that are artists, animators, riggers, writers, assistants, so many people that come together to make each of these characters come to life, to make the story come to life.
Shout out to them.
And that's what this event is every year. It's a celebration of everybody
All
brings
of
this
us.
together. So thank you to all the wonderful developers who work so hard to make these games come true. And give us the opportunity to be a part of it.
Yeah, because it's not just one character.
Right.
You have a writer, an animator, a programmer, gamer,
It's a
designer,
village.
a director,
It's a village.
a person who's picked you for the part, to audition.
Well, you did pay me, but I mean, we don't really talk about that.
Trying to send you some pins.
Right, exactly. Well, cool. So I really do. It's so hard timing. If you guys haven't, it's so hard for me with timing on these panels because I could just talk like this all day. But Jeff and I and the Overwatch team decided we want to really mix it up this year and be ridiculous. So picture we're all in our pajamas right now, which we are going to do a pajama party next BlizzCon. But we're going to be silly. Yeah, do it.
There you go.
Shoes off. And we want to be ridiculous and have our wonderful actors reading characters. So Jeff, how are you ready? We're going to be silly together. All of us. And so everybody's got their cue cards. We are going to, first of all, we're going to just be silly. And the team thought it'd be fun if our characters read some lines from the game, but then we're going to also read some balanced tweets and
Oh boy.
some mean tweets. Because you know what? We read what you write. So Jeff, anything you want to say about balanced tweets or mean tweets? You ready for this?
Good luck.
All right. Who wants to start us off?
Which
Read
Meanie,
your-
would you like to
let's
start?
do some character lines and then read the balanced lines and then the mean tweets or whatever. Your choice.
Okie dokie. All right.
Character lines first. That'll get us.
Character lines. This is one of my favorites. Adaptive circuits engage. Personality synchronization 100%. Good to be back. She's so chirpy.
She's so lovely.
She loves life.
Yes.
Is this a non-relevant conversation?
I say that all the time. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
would you like another helping?
I love it.
Let's see. Nothing to worry about unless there's something to worry about, as Dr. Liao always said.
I love it.
And so optimal.
Great. All right, let's see what they think of. What should we do? Should we all character first and then balance, then mean? Let's do all character.
Yeah, we'll
let's
go
do all character first. Okay, so we said good.
We got a few here. The classic, the nightmare-inducing. It's high noon. Justice ain't gonna dispense itself. One of my favorite ones that I still have as one of my classic quotes in the game. I'm your huckleberry. After you. The other one that I have on my my setup for quotes. You done? Always useful in the game. And a really way to just get your team moving fast. Don't sass me is another one that's good. Another one of my favorites. I hear you, pumpkin. And the drawn out. I'm not good, not bad. But I sure as hell ain't ugly.
I love that you lift your legs during that. You totally
I am an awkward, tight nerd, and like the physicality of him is so different than me that you have to slip into it.
Your body in session, your body changes. I watch you slip into Mccree. Absolutely, I love it. All right, Diva, what you got, girl?
So I'm gonna start with my alt. Nerf this. And there are some other lines here, but I actually really like the ones that are interactive.
Do it. What, you remember some? Go for it.
I think your clock's off. Hey, Daddy-O. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I love that she also has lines in Korean.
Yes.
She's the Korean character. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 안녕. Is this easy mode? 게임을 하면 이겨야지, which is I play to win.
I love it.
I get the feeling you're not taking me seriously. The best things in life come in small packages. And the last one, I'm gonna own all those noobs.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Love it.
Yes. All right, Fred, what you got?
I'll see if I can make a relevant conversation.
Dramatic
Well, there's
read.
always, I've got you in my sights. It's some not listed. I'm not a young man anymore. Or the one I feel lately, they keep knocking me down, but I keep getting back. We're all soldiers now. That's sir to you. Sit down. Shut up and heal, damn it. I'm a man on a mission. Stay out of my way. You don't want to go to war with me. Young punks, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
To write that in many different
So good, so good, so good. All right.
Okay, let me look. There's nothing on the paper. You wrote that. Oh, wait.
It's
This is reading that I cannot read at all. But
You printed it upside down.
hammer down. Oh, there it is. Justice will be done. Precision German engineering. And the one we made up on the
Yes.
spot that way. Honor, justice, Reinhard. Don't worry, my friends. I am your shield. And I'll cross a leg like Mccree. You're on my naughty list, cowboy Mccree boy. Oh, that's not one of the lines.
It is now, right,
should
Jack?
be.
It is now.
Making me blush over here.
I love it.
It's your blood.
All right, so
can
let's
feel
go with
kind of
you.
uneasy.
Oh.
Pick a balanced tweet or two and mean tweets, because we want to do something after this.
A balanced tweet. For the love of Pete's Dragon. My thoughts on Reinhardt experimental mode changes. And then there's a lot of letters that spell Leroy Jenkins.
Now read it as Reinhardt.
Yeah, read it as Reinhardt.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
As much as I love Reinhardt, it is absolutely infuriating to play as him. His mechanics are so messed up, and he's not even worth playing. The only thing he's good for is his shield, and even that is easy to get rid of. Source, this. That's one of those.
Yeah. Great. All right. Fred,
I just
we'll do
know-
we're going to do mean tweets as well, so let's do that last.
These are balanced tweets,
Balanced
whatever the hell that means. It's just nice you can be an old guy. It's kind of great. Let's see. Burst damage is king, and Soldier doesn't do enough of it. All right, I'll take that. Soldier 76 is bad, but also Soldier 76 is OP and needs nerfs. Well, to quote my dear friend, nerf this. The hell's a nerf? You want rival or microshots? Jack of all trades, but master of none. If these recall changes to live, I might go back to being a legs main. Oh, sorry, not live. If these recall changes go live, I might go back to being a legs main. I screwed that up. I don't understand why people play Soldier 76. He is such trash and very overpowered. I'll take that. Soldier 76 is the most unskilled and overpowered character in Overwatch. You got that right. Holy he is so annoying. Respect the chef.
All right.
I love you anyway.
Diva is often played like a shotgun version of Torbjorn's turret with the verticality of an earthworm. Oh, okay. A message to support players, please do not queue tank in comp if you can only play Diva. It's basically soft throwing. Okay. Shouldn't Diva be able to eat Baptiste's immortality field? Playing Diva is like trying to win a race with a horse when other people have a sports car. And the last one, baby Diva is too tanky.
So, I love it.
Is that like skanky?
Thank you very much.
Skank. I don't think they meant
Skanky.
Well, thank you.
Is too skanky.
I love it.
That
I love
outfit
it.
is quite tanky.
Yeah. I love it. Who's got
Thanks
the
a
Earth
lot.
Shatter? Do one of you have the Earth Shatter on your card?
I think that was me.
I love that's my favorite one. Shatty.
When a Reinhardt gets a powerful earth shatter, it must be called Fatty Shatty from now on.
Fatty Shatty.
Fatty Shatty is pretty
my
great.
Now, why?
Because it's fun and it's
Does it
alliteration.
rhyme? Is that all we do now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
All right, what you
We're
got?
friends again.
Oh man, all right. Mccree, more like McNeeds more nerves. You have a tracer? Oh, Mccree can flashbang headshotter. They have a Hammond too? Mccree has flashbang. Far Mercy too? Mccree's job as well. But does he get a shield as protection, an off-tank to peel for him, or pocketed by a support when he tries to deal with him? Hell no. Oh, and why is the shield not breaking, Mccree? There's a lot of complaining. As someone who put 30 hours into Mccree, I hate Mccree. 250 HP, thick Cree. Oh, Lord, he coming. And, well, it's a good question. Maybe you can answer here, Jeff. Why does Blizzard hate Mccree so much? Send tweet.
Like you said, send tweet. Why does Blizzard have the I love these. These are the best.
These are great.
All right, let's hear what you got.
All right. Echo can die very easily to most hit scans, considering her gigantic head.
Oh, okay.
Theory. Echo is not the real Echo, but a Talon copy, infiltrating Overwatch operations, which explains the damage focus kit. Echo doesn't need to be nerfed because she's already a glass cannon.
Right?
Compliment? It feels like a compliment.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment. For the love of God, get Echo balanced. Holy Overwatch.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point, exclamation point, yes.
Yes. Okay, great. So main tweets are my favorite. They're really fun. So let's go back around. These are great.
Okay. I'm going to say a bad word.
It's okay. We're going to beep you out, maybe.
Maybe. I hate how Echo from Overwatch has a face.
So sorry.
Apologize. We'll scrub that.
Yes.
God, I dislike so much of Echo's design. Her generic bland, comforting face, her generic bland, obedient AI voice, her pointless hourglass torso. There's just absolutely no unique character to her, which for Overwatch is weird. Every part of her is just sexy, boring lady robot.
I bet some people could maybe think what to do with the sexy lady.
I'm okay with that.
I just still have to remark on that the fact that sexy and boring were in the same. I think that's a wonderful comment.
You know, I love an oxymoron.
Hey, you're really beautiful.
You're
Yeah.
really sexy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'd love to play chess with you. You're
I'd
so
love that.
sexy.
Let's play chess all night.
You'd
Wow.
probably win, though.
I don't know, checkmate. I think wow.
Queen's Gambit?
Well, yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
the
there's
Queen's
nothing.
Gambit?
I am.
Okay, that's good. I don't
You'll
like
move.
the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna move because you're sexy and boring at the same time.
I
just
know.
a prom.
All right, let's do that.
I love that was together.
Oh boy. I hate that I can hear it perfectly in a stupid, cocky Mccree voice like goo goo gaga hey. And oh boy. I want to learn to play Mccree because my friend and I love/hate his voice, and I can be a good. My apologies.
All right, Diva.
I love Diva, even though she trash.
Be nice.
All right, I know, friend.
This is, again, mean maybe, but it's all real.
Yeah.
Like, here it is. Does anyone else listen to Soldier 76's voice line, quit messing around and get ready to move, and feel like he's on the verge of saying, quit around, like some tired dad trying to wrangle up his teens in the toy aisle because he hasn't gotten his afternoon nap in? That's what I was going for. That's exactly right. So
Success!
Good on you. Agreed, though. I
I
understand.
love it. All right, Darren.
Get her closer. Hello, I'm a mean tweeter, and I will say the following. I hate Reinhardt's voice. It sounds like a drunken German pirate. Yo ho ho, more like yo ho no.
I wrote that. That's how you send a mean tweet. You have the yo ho ho, yo ho no. Queen's Gambit ya.
Well played, sir.
Oh my God. All right.
German pirate.
Yes.
I'm a pirate. I'm a beetle and a drunken German.
I love it. Jeff,
It's
did you
in my
catch all
official
those?
Liverpool accent.
I love it. Jeff, what do you think about all of those?
He had a
Balanced
stroke.
tweets, the mean tweets are great. I love it all. Any
Yeah,
thoughts?
it's amazing. You know, I keep thinking about like how much our community loves Overwatch, and then I hear those, and I'm like, oh.
You're gonna do all these fixes in the next balance.
Yeah, we're
right?
gonna fix it all. We're gonna
Yeah,
fix it
fix
all.
that. Yeah.
So we have very little time left because we run out of time always, but we're going to do a quick couple rounds of improv.
Oh geez.
We just want to be nuts. So in this jar, I have improv ideas from our team that are ridiculous. I'm going to just grab
Oh,
some
boy.
and we'll do just quick little improv sketches, kind of like TV shows do, and just have fun. So I'm going to pull a topic up. Whoever wants to jump up, it can. We're going to stay in our seats to be safe. It can be. It doesn't have to be two of you. It can be whoever wants to do it. How about that? So as character, and we'll just have fun and see what happens. Sound good? All right,
Sure.
here we go. It's going to be
But Jeff,
wonderful.
create a biotic field for COVID, please.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what we need.
I love it. All right, let's do. Okay, here we go. You could all just pretend it's a scene. You could all riff on this one. If Overwatch has been rebooted into a 1920s detective drama.
Oh
You've
boy.
You've all arrived at a crime scene, right? There's like a chalk drawing on the floor. Someone, and you're all detectives in the 1920s.
The leggy robot with the face walked in. Oh, she had legs from here to tomorrow. She looked down at the body and she said the classiest line that this private detective has ever heard.
This body looks like an absolute pile of caca poo-poo. What on earth could it be? Is it human or is it AI?
In came suspect number one. He was a cowboy. He had a swagger like nobody's business. He went up to the sexy leggy robot. He looked down and said,
Don't mean to be brash, but did I just hear you say cuckoo papa? Or was that poo-poo caca?
I believe it was poo-poo caca, and it's French.
I didn't believe her. I'd been to France once when I was 4 years old. Didn't see any poo-poo caca while I was there. However, as I stared into the distance, eyes narrowed, I heard footsteps from behind.
in burst the victim's wife. She was very upset, and she had a giant mecha with her.
Oh my God. Wait, why am I British all of a sudden?
Whatever you want to do.
It wasn't me.
Because it was not her. And the greatest detective my news is, because as I used my hammer as a cigar, I turned to the real culprit, who always had the victim in his sights. It was Soldier 67, the evil soldier from an alternate dimension.
That's right. I was tired of that 76 guy, so I had to kill him. I killed him dead right there. But then... I'm powering up. Look, I'm not a young man anymore. Where's 67? Took care of that crap.
That is when the world's greatest private eye was shot by the villain 67. I fell onto the chalk drawing in the exact same position of the body. And our story came to an end because I'm a ghost!
My aim wasn't as good, sorry.
Oh my God. We could do this all day. Oh my God. I didn't know that. I love the French that you speak. That was very impressive.
Thank you.
Oh my God. So good. So good.
It's not bad for the person with a
I
face.
love it. Okay.
Merci.
Now all of these characters show up in Target to buy toilet paper, and there's one roll left.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
After you.
Oh, no, please. You may. I understand.
I'm just going to take the last one for a friend because I don't actually need it.
No,
You don't.
No.
pardon me, ma'am. I don't mean to intrude here, but like you said, you seem to eat pretty clean, being a robot and all. You, I don't know how much prune juice you're putting through that system right there, but
It's
I
pretty
drink a-
distilled. It's pretty distilled.
I drink a lot of real terrible coffee, and I'm in mighty need of whatever that roll's given.
Might I recommend it for my buddy over here? He might need it pretty badly. There's a lot of sauerkraut in his diet.
Oh,
Charging power activated!
I suggest you clear out.
Might I suggest one thing, since I have a certain capability that the rest of you don't? Duplicating toilet paper! Pew, 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 pew.
Wow.
That's good.
Where were you 9 months ago when this was harder to find?
I hadn't been announced to the world, but here I am now, and
Fair enough.
hopefully...
She had to sign an NDA.
I did. I had to sign an NDA, so...
Couldn't just go into any Target and buy a toilet paper. Yeah, right.
Free TP for
Payload
everyone.
has landed.
Well played. Well played. Okay, let me see. We just got a couple minutes left. Some of these are my total favorite. Okay, choose two. Awkwardly asking the other to prom in high school as younger versions of yourself. Anybody? Who wants to ask Diva out? Or
Younger
anybody-
versions of
anybody?
ourselves.
Yes.
Younger as our characters?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a modern woman, and so I'd like to ask somebody out.
Okay.
Mccree, I know that I always say that your clock's off, but I think your clock is quite on. And so I was just wondering, would you like to go to prom with me?
Well, that's mighty fine offer you put there. I'm blushing. I would say yes under one condition.
Okay, what is
You-
that?
Are you against the idea of a group date?
Oh,
I being a modern man.
and me being a modern woman, sure. Who else would join us?
My friend Reinhardt. It's been a fine year hanging out with you, and I wonder if you do the honor of coming to prom with me
Oh,
and my date.
I would very much like to go to the prom with you and also to with the Diva. And then,
It seems that my voice is changing. I'm an adult all of a sudden. Oh no!
Hey, Wilhelm, I thought we were gonna do something, but I guess not. That's okay. If you got your friends, that's fine, I guess. But
You can come with us.
really,
It's better when we're a team, when we're all together. And there's no one that knows that better than my friend Echo.
all right. Yes,
If I may,
robot lady,
robot girl,
girl. Sorry.
if I may, I'm still learning and don't really know what prom is. But if it's okay, could I just come along and watch?
That's what
don't
prom is. It's where all the friends get together and they watch each other have a good time and they support.
Yes.
Oh, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yes.
I may have to ask you on the dance floor a couple of times.
Oh,
Can you do the robot?
I'm. I think
A little
it's
bit?
actually
Okay.
part of my main directive is to
Yeah, that
dance.
seems great.
I
like
know
your
no
pocket.
other way but to dance like a robot.
Perfect.
You're about the right age now to be a proper chaperone.
Excellent. I shall sit in the corner and provide safety and comfort as I do the robot with you.
I love you guys. Let's just clap for us. So pretend all of our fans
That
were
was-
here.
That was far better than my actual prom.
I love
Weirdly.
it.
Right?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I feel like these panels, like all of you, they're just over in a second. So we're technically out of time. I want to go over because first I want to thank all of you for doing that. Putting you on the spot and doing improv on camera is so, can be hard, but so fun to just play and be like we're kids together having a slumber party. Before we go, the most important thing that I wanted to do is kind of switching gears. That was really fun and silly and ridiculous, but it's to give words of support and love to our fan base. You know, we'll probably see them in a year from now at our next BlizzCon, but what words can we send to them right now to tell them that they're loved and we're all going to be okay? So, whoever wants to go first. I don't know. Let's go
I'll go
around.
first.
Please.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you, and of course, Andrea, for inviting us to be able to get together today. I haven't seen humans, in a year, and so this is really surreal, but just has been so lovely. And I just wanted to say to the fans, you know, one of our taglines is the world could always use more heroes. And even if you don't feel like one right now, I just pray that there will be somebody in your life that you feel is a hero to you. And if you do have the energy to spread that love and positivity to those around you, what we have, I think, is hope. We have hope and we have strength. And as long as we can do it together in a community and stay positive, we're going to be able to get through the hardest of times. And so thank you for being a part of our lives. And we hope that in everything that we do as the actors and as the characters, we will be able to also be a positive light to you as well. So much love and thank you.
Yes, beautifully said. Beautifully said. Who else?
Just echo the wonderful things that you said. Times like this really help clarify the important things, and really few things are important more than community. You know, culturally, it's easy for people to be raised with the idea of the individual over the community, and I think more now than ever, it's showing how important it is that we all help each other out, that we rally behind each other, and remind each other that we're there for each other. what bit of joy we're able to bring to your lives, please know that you bring an endless amount back to ours. And every member of this community is part of a family in some way. Don't be afraid to ask your fellow man if you need a little help or even just a shoulder to lean on. And don't be afraid to lend that shoulder or lend what help you can if you can. And if you can't, spread the word to find somebody else who might be able to. You know, we only have each other at the end of the day to rely upon. So thank you for your wonderful support. And thank you for tuning into this wonderful delight today.
Well said. Well said.
I've lost people during this. And, it's been hard, but there's a quote that says, "It will be all right in the end." And if it's not all right, it's not the end. So keep going. So keep going.
Love
and
you.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Love you too.
I don't want to miss the opportunity to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love you, Darren.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Right. Fred, Jeannie?
Continuing from that, love is everything. To quote the Beatles, love is all you need. All you need is love. And to remember that this community is built from that, you know. So much of that love comes to the surface, and let's continue to share that. Let's continue to reach out, and just like everyone else has been saying, you know, if you're able to lend a shoulder or an ear or eyes, if a message comes through, take the time to acknowledge your fellow human and to know that we're all the same, you know. Something that I like to say a lot is all is one and one is all. We're all made of the same stuff. And if we can just strip down to that very core of ourselves and to know that that's what's in each and every single one of us, to know that we're all connected in that way, and to connect in a way that is just pure and full of kindness and love and understanding, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this with that sentiment. And from a personal perspective, I've never felt so much love from a community of people who I would have said were strangers 8, 9 months ago, but none of you are strangers to me. And I hope that I'm able to share more of my life with you so that I'm not a stranger to you. And I just want to thank you for bringing this world to me. And we're going to get through it. Let's not give up. Let's keep going. And I love you all. And I'm so grateful for all of you here on this panel. I'm so grateful to all of Overwatch and Blizzard. Getting a bit emotional here, but just thank you. Just thank you. So much gratitude to all of you and for all of it. So.
And I'm going to reiterate and just say thank you. We are all connected. We're many different folks, and but we are all so connected. Strip it down and just, you know, to do the quote, to be that change that you want to, you know, see. Just start on any level and reach out to each other, and just know that you are all so beautiful, just absolutely beautiful as you are. And we love you so much. And just hang in there. We didn't start this virus, but we'll damn well finish it. And you know, hang in there and keep creating, keep making joy, and just live with love as much as you can.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Jeff, any parting words from you and the Overwatch team?
I mean, everyone said so much of how I feel already. I guess I'll add that BlizzCon is always this moment for the Blizzard community to come together, developers, fans, players, and everybody just enjoys each other's company and connecting and all that kind of stuff. We will get through this, and I look forward, and I think I can speak for most of Blizzard that everybody looks forward to being able to be with you again in the future.
Yes, beautifully said, Jeff. I'll close the panel. I want to just, first of all, say thank you, all of my amazing, to call you actor doesn't come close to it. I feel like you're all amazing humans, and I just love you, and I'm so grateful that you braved the wild fires that are out there to join us here today to shoot this. That's no easy thing. That was a decision each of you had to make. And thank you to the fans for tuning in. I want to say again, the voiceover panel started as a tiny little thing at BlizzCon years ago in the corner, like a little circus freak show. And now we're here in this set because of you, because of the love you give us and how close you hold us in your heart. So without you, we wouldn't even be here. Thank you for tuning in. Find us on our social media handles. Tell us you love us. We'll tell you we love you. You're not alone. We're always just a tweet or a text or something away. Take care of yourself, guys. Be healthy, be happy. We're gonna be okay, and we're gonna make it through, I promise you. We love you. See you later.
Love you.
Bye.